Hello gents, back again. So this is just a follow on from the water pump fix on the coolant leak I had. What I'm going to be doing now is just doing an oil change on the bike, because I thought I've got it out, I've got it on a paddock stand, it's due for an oil change anyway, so I might as well show you how to do it. It's an absolute doddle on these bikes, just doing oil and filter change. So all you need is, I've got a 3/8 ratchet of a 17mm socket, there's the sump plug there, just crack that off and undo it. I've had the bike running for like a good 20 minutes, just so the oil's nice and thin now. I recommend doing that. Go for a little ride or something. Oh, try not to make a mess. So that's that draining. As you can see, it well needed doing. And I've what I do is I just take the dipstick out as well, just to allow some air in whilst it's draining. And yeah, so leave that to drain. And whilst that's draining, I like to go ahead and clean my chain and get that cleaned and lubed up. So whilst that's draining, obviously you want to undo your oil filter. I'll just use a big pair of water pump pliers, grab hold of it and turn it. That's how I'll get them undone. Now you can get a tool that goes over that, or like a strap. I'll just use a pair of water pump pliers, just turn it. It shouldn't be that tight anyway. So undo that. You're going to get loads of oil go on the headers there. Just wipe it off after. Any residue will just burn off. You can't avoid this unless you want to put a rag and all that there, but I just tend to wipe it off anyway. Like that. Nice and easy. And you want to just inspect the face of that. Make sure that this ring isn't stuck to that. As you know, oil filter will go on, and because there's two sealing rings there, it will just piss out oil everywhere as soon as you start it up. So give this face a nice good clean up before you put the new oil filter back on, and you'll be good to go. It's good enough. If you were really anal, you could go around with a Scotch-Brite and just clean all this tiny little bits of corrosion off, but that's good enough for me. That's still fine there. So here's my new oil filter. I've got a K&N KN204 is the oil filter I've got for this bike. I actually had this laying about and it was a pleasant surprise when I found it. So it's got this little protective cover on it. I'll get that off. I need 2 hands. So face of that's all clean. I've put a little bit of old engine oil just around the seal, and I'm just going to screw it on hand tight. Don't use this nut on the outside to tighten it up, because you only want to do it up hand tight. This is for removal, for when you want to get the old oil filter off. You can do this, but you're only supposed to do it up 3/4 of a turn as soon as it seats. So really you can easily achieve that through doing it through by your hand, and you literally just pop it on there. As soon as it finds its bites on the thread, simply just tighten it up, get your hand in there, and I just do it up hand tight. There's no need to get a tool in there and wang it right up, because all it's going to do is make it much more difficult to get it off when you want to do a next oil change. So I'm just now going to get my hand in there and do it up with my hand. So now my oil filter's all done up tight. Come round here. Put the sump plug back in. Now you should replace this crush washer on here. I haven't got one, but I highly recommend you do. If you're going to do this job, you can get them on Wiimoto for like a couple of quid. I haven't got one, but yeah, I've reused them before with no issue at all, but you're supposed to replace them. Just thought I'd let you know. So simply put the sump plug back in. And I found somewhere online that this should be torqued up to 30 Newton meters. So I've got my torque wrench set to 30 Newton meters. Let me just torque it up. There we go. That's that done. Wipe off this residue around here. And now all we need to do is fill up with oil. And again, I read somewhere online that it was supposed to put 3.5 litres in this bike. I'm going to start by putting that amount in and then just starting it up and then checking the oil level and topping it off accordingly. So let's go and do that. So the oil I'm using is just Halford's own brand, 10W40. That's what the oil you need to use. Well, the grade you need to use, you can use any brand you want, as long as it's changed regular, it don't really matter. And this is a litre filled to the top, so I'm going to put 3.5 of these in and then start it up and check it. So I've put 3.5 litres in, dipsticks in. I'm going to start it up. You're going to see the oil light come, like flicker, like stay on, and then it should go off. You want to make sure that definitely goes off. That's the oil light there. There we go. It's gone off now, so that means it's got oil pressure. If that was to stay on, that means you've got no oil pressure and the engine ain't getting lubricated. You're going to start doing big damage if that stays on. So definitely make sure the oil light goes off. Just check for any leaks around the oil filter, around the sump plug. And, it's going to get off the paddock stand now, get it to its natural upright position, and I'm going to check the oil level via the dipstick there. And might have done a little bit more, I don't know, we'll see. So as I thought, I got it back down off the paddock stand and the oil level was on the minimum level, so I topped it up an extra 300ml, which brought it up to the correct level. So 3.5 to 3.8, or 3.8 is what you really want to be putting in. Makes sense because on the manual I looked at, it said the oil fill capacity was 300ml, so 3.5 litres in the engine, and this holds 300ml, so 3.8 in total. And yeah, I've checked for any leaks, it's all good, and I'm just going to do the tyre pressures, get kitted up and go for a little ride. It's actually quite a nice day, 31st of December, so going into the new year very shortly. And yeah, so I hope you enjoyed this video. As you see, it was very simple, and hope you all have a lovely new year. I probably ain't going to post this tonight, so you've already into the new year already, and hope you had a blast. Anyway, I'll see you on the next one.